Okay, Forgiven fans, we got some new gear here, and we have right now, we're going to interview Casey Kunkel, who is Forgiven's, there he is over there. Hey Casey, how's it going?
Good, how you doing?
All right, hey, Casey is our Forgiven musical director, and Casey is also our sound technician. Casey has been running sound with Scott Arnson, a local LeGrand gentleman here, who has does all the sound for everything. Celtic Festival, Cycle Oregon,
the fairgrounds.
I mean, there's
local bands.
Local bands. Yeah.
We were busy. We did the 4th of July up at the stadium, a big stadium.
Yeah. So Casey's been running sound with Scott, and that's pretty cool. Scott's a great guy and has helped us out tremendously in the past. And Casey's Forgiven's musical director. So with a little bit of Casey's input, we come over here, and here's the board that we originally picked up. And now we've added to this board this SKB box down below. And Casey, you want to run us through what's in that SKB travel box?
Yeah, so what we're doing, and this is also known as rack case, and we're running some rack mount effects. Not so much effects, but what we're running is, this is important really for anybody. You need a power conditioner. Whether you're using a surge protector type deal, you need clean power. If you're not running clean power, you're going to have buzz, you're going to have hum, and on any local public venue, it's dirty power. So, got to have the firm, and these are great. They got these pull-out lights, so when you're running shows and it's dark, you can turn your lights on. And you can't really see it because the flash is on, but when it's dark out, you can still see your EQ, you can still see your crossover, see what's going on. Those are essential. It's really nice too.
Good stuff. Really nice too,
because everything plugs into the firm, and you flip one switch and everything's on.
Cool.
You turn one switch and everything's off. So we do have the Behringer EQ here. We got 2 lines of 31 band.
So that's if you want to run stereo, you can EQ 31 bands on each stereo channel if you want to run stereo.
Yeah, left to right. We're running mono, so we're going to run our mains so we can EQ the mains. This is what everybody's going to hear. Okay. And this is going to be for our monitors, so this is what the band's going to hear. And this is really important, I found out this summer. You can actually EQ the feedback out of almost anywhere, especially when you get in rooms that are full of hard surfaces. You're going to have a lot of pinging. Feedback is a big problem.
And so that's the point with the EQ. That's the whole point, right? It's to selectively dial out the feedback.
It's the number 1 to dial out the feedback, and number 2, crisp things up. Each room sounds different, so you combat that with an EQ. You give it more or less bass, mid-range, high range. So, and here we got the crossover going.
Okay, and that's for the subwoofer, right?
Yeah. We actually got a subwoofer we're running.
Let's run over here and we'll take a look at that. There's the 18-inch subwoofer. Behringer also, a great deal on that.
And what this does, the crossover takes your signal, all your sound from the board. We're going into the EQ, and after we EQ it, then the signal goes to the crossover, and we have a frequency dial here that goes anywhere from, it looks like 930 down to 44 hertz is where we're running it at right now. And we're actually toned in about 140. So we're sending 140 hertz down to the sub,
right,
and 141 hertz up to the mains.
Right.
So 140 hertz down are not coming through the mains. That cleans up your sound. You get that really low end only coming through your sub, and it just gives you space for vocals and everything else in the mid-range and high range.
All right. So let's talk about the heart of the system there. We've got 4,000 watts, it looks like, of power. Tell us why you recommended that amp for Forgiven.
First and foremost, Scott uses these religiously. They're a great deal. I mean, 4,000 watts for $375.
Sure.
Great price. I'm not kidding. We ran one of these. We were running 3 stacks on each side, so we had 6 subwoofers going.
Jeez, wow.
The 4,000 watt was powering all 6 subs, which put the amp under 2 ohms.
Wow.
And we're still using it.
Wow.
We gig with one of these. Eye for an Eye gigs with one of these every weekend. We haven't had a problem with them. It's a workhorse.
So, what size venue could Forgiven play with this equipment?
With this equipment, any outside gig available in Union County.
Yeah, the fairgrounds, whatever.
I mean,
so.
we'd be easily do the small stage at the fairgrounds, easily
Fantastic.
Max Square, you name it. I mean,
yeah,
there's some power here.
Yeah, well, and you know, so now we're just using our board pretty much for monitors and for mixing, and it's been a great board. It's really worked out great. So that's a good situation. We definitely have the gear now. Now all those wires you see underneath there, that's because we're waiting for the patch cords.
Yeah.
So we just ran 25-foot XLRs to everything in the back of the board tonight, because a lot of this equipment just came in tonight and we're fooling around with it. So, well, let's crank it up and see what U2 sounds like.
Yeah, no kidding. Here we go. It's not even working. We're not pulling any load at all right now.
Yeah. Amazing.
If you notice, if I bring everything down on this, there's no hiss.
There's no noise.
The only noise is the fan on the amp.
Fan on the amp.
And that's not a problem at all.
Yeah, this is a totally silent system. That's clean.
This is all analog. There's nothing digital going on. The only thing we got going on is some digital effects. As far as reverb,
Right.
You'd be running those in a rack mount anyway.
Right.
Ours is just built into the board, no problem. Analog board, analog graphic EQ, analog crossover. I mean, this is the technology that Woodstock.
Well, I think
using.
Scott's on record as saying that, you know, a sound technician that knows what they're doing prefers analog.
Absolutely. It doesn't, you know, you can run, okay, you can run sound, you can buy a $3,000 digital mixer, you know, it's like, but if you don't know how to run it, it's not going to make you sound any better. Right.
If anything, it might be, as Scott said once, I heard him say, it could make things more confusing for people.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you don't take baby steps, if you've never really ran sound, or you're a beginner with running sound and you jump into a digital board, you're in for deep trouble. You got to learn the basics first.
Yeah. And even when you when you really know what you're doing, like Scott, you still prefer it. So
yeah, I mean, it's just
kind of fascinating.
It's good. It's solid. It's worked for 60 years. It's going to keep
pretty
working.
Fascinating. Yeah.
So
hopefully that helps people out there. If you got a praise band and you want to put together some pro gear, take it from a professional sound technician who we're really lucky to have in our band with Forgiven. And so hopefully that'll help some people out there and give you an idea of what Forgiven's up to. All right, we'll see you out there. We got some things coming up this month, and we appreciate your time, Casey. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Take it easy, everybody.
Yep. All righty. We'll talk to you later, Forgiven. Thanks.